I wanted to share with you today some stories from Corporate Women Unleashed graduates who have gone through the training and the development that we do. And the reasons they came to us are really inspiring, but they're also in many cases quite serious. There are life-changing events that happen for all of us that sometimes wake us up to what's really precious. And the fear that all of us high-achieving women have is that we are going to have to give up the glory. We're going to have to give up the challenge, the thrill of the chase of being a woman who's capable of a high level of performance. And you don't. That is such a myth. Believe me, I believe that myth forever. And I had, there was consequences that I paid in my personal life as well. So I want you to tune in today and really listen to what some of these women are sharing and what really motivated them to say, look, enough's enough. I'm not accepting a compromised existence anymore. I can have what's important to me and this career that's important to me. So tune in and listen and share a comment and see what you think.
For me, it was very clear that I was giving my best self to my work. Okay. They got the best of me for the last 7.5 years. And in those 7.5 years, I had 2 kids. My daughter is going to kindergarten in September. And I remember waking up one morning and being like, oh my God, like I have not given them anything, even though we wanted to have these kids. Like I was just not there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a hard one, Mama. That's a hard one to wake up and have that realization and go, damn, I'm missing this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you for sharing that.
When I was stuck in a bit of a loop, I knew the theory of like shutting my computer down at 5:30, and I knew the theory that I should be there for my kids, and I could feel the pain when I wasn't doing it, but I wasn't doing it. There was still always emails, always a meeting to get, always a phone call at 5:30 that I felt driven to attend, and that somehow the world wouldn't be right if I wasn't there. And, people would think badly of me. My boss wouldn't, think well of me if I shut down a computer and said, sorry, I can't do this. It's tea time. I need to be home for my kids. So I knew all of that theory, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing it, even though it pained me, even though they were waiting for me. Sometimes they were hungry and I wasn't making their dinner because I was just saying one more email. And now I have that strength, and it's not really strength. I just feel completely empowered to say, no, I can't do that. And there's not an ounce of guilt here. There's not an ounce of guilt anymore. I'm so, resolute. And I knew, like I said, I knew the theory and I wasn't applying it. It was almost like I was an addict to what I was doing. And I broke the habit. I have broken those habits. I now say no. I can say this week, I think it was Wednesday night, I had a hair on fire moment from one of my colleagues saying, help, I need this thing. I'm going to present tomorrow. And I thought, she's a valued colleague. I know that, what she's in. I helped her. So I spent 2 hours helping her, even though I knew I was eating into my family time. The next day, I said to my team, guys, I could see a gap in my diary. I said, look, I can take 2 hours, 3 hours off to go with my kids this afternoon. I'm going to take it because I worked late last night. And I had emails back to say, oh, that's so good. Because I was a team leader saying, it's okay. Sometimes you have to work in an emergency mode. You have to do it. And you're a team player and you do it. But then take time back. And so that's what I did. We went for a walk around the lake and had a great time. Oh. So I just feel better about doing that now.
Yeah, when I came, honestly, I was just seeking like help. I knew I needed something, and I had tried, I'd looked at, like Cami said, I'd looked at some other programs and didn't feel like any of them were going to give me what I needed. And then when I found CW, it was like immediately based on just what little bit I had seen. And then I did my 45-minute call, and I knew this is going to help me get out of this hole that I'm in, because I was working based off like fear-based thoughts. And I was at burnout. I was at, should I step back? Maybe I shouldn't be managing anymore. I should just be a team member so I can actually eat dinner with my family, all of those thoughts. And then when I first started the program, I was excited, but I was also just being transparent. I was going like, do I deserve this kind of attention for myself? Am I like worth this? And so, yeah, that's kind of how I started. But then at the same time knowing that at the end of it, I was gonna come out winning for sure. And I did.